And here we go. Everybody starting in Link's house where you get that first heart container. And a little bit of divergence right away. We got Willard trying for a fake flipper, looks like. And everybody else is going to check the uncle. See what two items are down there. We had some arrows as a tree pole. Got the arrows in escape, Willard doing the hula hand trick, and Uncle had a piece of heart, so nothing major yet.
Yeah, nothing big. Willard's a hula hand play, as I think that's one of his favorite things to do in open mode right away. Get that nice chunk of change before heading off into the world.
Yeah, no guarantee you're get any money, especially, and you need, if you don't find any bombs, anything like that, and you need to buy them, 150 rupees just inside of Kakariko Village. And there, Willard buys his bombs in our sanctuary chest. It was just a sewer key, so we've got all the items still sitting in the escape and inside Hyrule Castle.
Indeed. We got Ganon's Gone Wild heading through the Lost Forest, checking out what's going to be in the mushroom spot. Just another small piece of heart. A lot of love so far in this seed.
Yep, and doesn't surprise me that he's going to skip it. We had a quick map check. I thought I saw crystals on Eastern and Desert, and I missed Hera. We know it's not the green pendant, though, because that's a nice palace.
Hera is one of the 5-6 crystals, so
Okay.
3 crystals in the light world this time around.
Okay, so we had powder in the drop in the Lost Woods, and then we had a bottle as part of the race game.
We're not going to be going back to the library with just some bombs up there, so no need for boots as at this moment.
Yep, not yet.
Although no bombs any other place so far yet. Ooh, flippers here in the back half of the tavern. That's our first, well, I guess second major item, because we did find the powder as well.
And sick kid just giving us his savings. Got a shovel. Oh, and there's some gloves in the well as well. So we got quite a few major items then in Kakariko. One fetch quest, which we'll see if any of the runners decide to go check that after checking the race game.
Since you're passing by, if you haven't already gone through that area, because I know a couple people have gone through, heading up Kakariko from the south to do the race game in the library first, if they head back down there, or if we'll tie it in later on with a, stumpy K45 type of check. And yes, a couple of the racers here did have to skip some of the areas because they didn't have bombs, and they'll have to drop back in, like in the well where the moon pearl's hiding out.
Yeah, I was like, I missed the moon pearl there, so that's definitely a major item that we need.
Yeah, I think when Fantalis and Ganon's Gone Wild had originally head down the well, fell in a well, they didn't have bombs, so their Fantalis is heading back there now, and Ganon's Gone Wild is probably going to head back there in a second as soon as they do the back half of the Thieves' Hut here. Yeah, it's always a risk you take. You hope that you can find, a pack of 3 bombs or something like that, maybe the 10 bomb drop from one of the chests that you're checking in Kakariko, and hope to save that money. But some people just go straight for buying the bombs as long as they have enough money first off.
Yeah, which isn't a bad idea because with V30 they took out all the bomb and arrow upgrades and replaced them with 3 bombs and 10 arrow drops instead. So better chance that you might find one of those drops. Yes, Willard did do a Houlihan into Lake Hylia shop. Alright, so he's just a boy. He's gonna skip the shovel for right now. He's heading into the Lost Woods. And we'll see if the runners decide to go and grab that. Yep, Willard's going to at the very least, because he's just a boy. I believe he blind checked, if I'm not mistaken, the
Yeah, I'm
poach.
pretty sure he just did. He's the only one of the 4 here that did the southern loop up to Kakariko. Everyone else came in from the north or some other direction.
Yeah, which would have been really nice if Sick Kid would have had something, because that would have saved him a little bit of time, but now potentially it could be the opposite, whereas if the shovel spot is holding something. But I believe we saw the lumberjack ledge there on He's Just a Boy's side, and unfortunately for Chad, it's just 5 rupees.
So, Aga 1 not required for the item there, but we don't know at this point if they'll be required to, get to the Dark World or anything.
And literacy. We have a buried book.
And he's just a boy picking up the Quake medallion from the back end of Escape, those 3 chests back there. So could be important, could be completely useless. We'll have to see once we get into the Dark World and see if Mire required, Turtle Rock required, and what medallions those 2 need.
Yeah, there's a possibility that both of them are pendants, and we don't even need to go into either one of them, and that's probably what the runners are hoping, because if you can skip those 2 dungeons, you definitely want to. Alright, getting our first check in the mini Moldorm cave.
Having to do it bomb style due to having no other weapons available as at this point.
Oh, one last bomb. Oh no.
Oh no!
That looks like a fire rod.
That is a very wet fire rod indeed.
Willards might be a little bit upset when he sees that, because that could have let him get through the mini Moldorm cave with that full magic that he would have gotten from there as well.
Oh yeah, definitely so.
He's Just a Boy's got 2 bombs, has to hit with both of them. Oh, he gets the magic though, as well, so even if he misses, now he can fire rod. 10 arrows, piece of heart, a 20 bucks, the single arrow, and 100 rupees. So nothing in the mini Moldorm cave, though.
Eh. Not very generous today.
Nope, decent Kakariko, but nothing in there. So we'll see where we've got some items. Potentially, it could be something in Desert Palace. We've got Eastern Palace to check. Water spots. He's just a boy heading for the hobo under the bridge, and Willard looks like he's heading to Ice Rod Cave.
Another little bit of love.
Gotta be careful of these crabs. Even with the 6 hearts, they've still got green mail and do 2 hearts apiece. That's no joke. Speaking of that, Fantalis takes the death to the crabs. But just 20 bucks in the Ice Rod case, so not a huge deal.
We'll see if they're gonna head back in that direction, or just kind of leave that spot open for later.
And Willard, because of his Houlihan, he's farming a little bit of rupees so that he's able to pay Zora off and see what item he has. None of the other runners potentially will be able to do this.
Looks like he's 1 rupee short from going to do Zora, actually.
Yeah, he's probably hoping that either one of the chests or hobo is going to have some rupees now. And he can always dig for it if he doesn't get in the waterfall before heading in the Zora area.
And there's our first sword! Sword on Zora ledge, so very good.
Fantalis going to try to make that trip to Ice Rod Cave. He's going to be disappointed when he gets that, though. And he's just a boy with that sword. Looks like he's going to be heading into the escape portion. See what we have down here. But Willard will be fine. He's got the 20 rubies and a heart container in the Waterfall of Wishing. So there's his 500.
And he'll be the first to check what the big fish has for us today. You think we're gonna get a life lesson, or we're gonna get something good?
I think we're going to actually get something good. I think that the Houlihan's going to pay off for him. Okay, well, I mean, it paid off in 50 rupees, but he
Yeah,
lost.
that's getting paid because we're getting money, but yeah. Oh well.
I'm sure everybody knows what kind of sound Homer was making when those 50 rupees came out. But he picks his sword up, he's going to save and quit, and we'll see where he goes now. So I don't believe we got anything major out of the escape part of it, or at least going to get Zelda.
Now, Zelda's cell just had another piece of heart in it. And I didn't see anything else major from the chest along the way either.
Yeah, so where? Looks like Ganon's Gone Wild is doing a sequence break. Oh, yep, he's in the, or he's doing the full escape.
Yeah, with those torches you can light up with the fire rod, that does help a little bit for finding the rats in that room. And there are a few magic drops in the what do you call those things that you lift up? Pots and stuff. So a little sequence break, but it does make it a little easier because you do have the fire rod with you.
So we'll get some new info from the Dark Room, and we're going to get some new info from Fentalis and He's Just a Boy, who looks like they're going to be going into Desert Palace and Eastern Palace, which I think is all we have left as far as information, and just the map in the Dark Room.
Yeah, I think they got two guys on the bottom here have their right choice by deciding to dive into a dungeon at this point. With I think Desert being the one more kind of that the items might be leading you to, because you got your fire rod and your book maybe and the lift upgrade all at once here, and a sword.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on what's on that torch or what's in this chest, which is a key, so potentially this dungeon could actually be completable as well. And it looks like Ganon's Gone Wild and Willard are both going to head to Desert as well. There's a map. And a compass. That means Big Key is going to be on the torch. And there's a hammer, though. So there's Dark World access. So he's just a boy making the right decision going to Eastern over Desert.
Yeah, for once the items sort of lied in terms of what they wanted you to go to at this point.
And potentially, yeah. I mean, we could still even find the boots here in Eastern, and then because all of these have been available from the word go. Uh-oh.
First demonstration of V30 hint tile here. Hint tiles being a new thing added. Those little triangle thingies that you see in some of the dungeons have unique text on them, and they can have hints that point you in directions of where unique items are, or like stuff in certain dungeons, stuff that's locked behind other items, or I believe 2 per seed are just going to be a joke hint, and those are going to be shown by being in green text instead of the normal blue. So in this case, we did get a useful hint that a unique item is held by the Kakariko village elder, meaning Sahasrahla is holding something behind the green pendant.
Which we know is an ice palace, so potentially, if they're missing one item, they could gamble that Sahasrahla has and just do a go mode ice palace to grab that green pendant.
Yeah, and unique item meaning, it might not be a useful thing. It could just be, they did find the single arrow already, so, well, he would not be holding the single arrow, unfortunately.
Yes, they did.
But it could be any one of those unique items. He could have the ice rod, but what if Turtle Rock is a pendant and we won't need the ice rod for completion? So, very useful hint that may or may not be actually needed, like an item, a thing. Words. In any case, Fantalis making the Eastern Palace play as well, while he's just a boy is taking his hammer and making our first dip into Dark World right by Hype Cave.
And there's our map check. We got Swamp and Pod are our remaining pendants, with Thieves Town being the other 5-6.
Swamp as pendant is something that you kind of don't want to see because of the amount of items in there. Very lucrative dungeon chest-wise, and now it's like, you know, what am I gonna want to go in there? Because it's a pendant, I don't need to go in there at all, possibly, but I might need to go in there because maybe an item in there. So, all right, let's do Hype Cave. Ooh, we're hype.
Oh, that's a way to start off Hype Cave. Okay, so all the hype was in the front. So I give that a solid 8 out of 10.
I'm right there with you.
So Willard, Ganon's Gone Wild making their way through Hyrule Castle. Fantalis is going to be doing a couple more checks here in Eastern Palace. We keep finding out what's in Dark World, and Old Stumpy has another heart container for us.
Oh boy, that was a long dig game for 50 rupees.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, that is almost as long as you can get, I think, there. Alright, so Ganon's Gone Wild, he's heading eastern. Willard, where are you going now? And we get the slow hammer pegs. Oh, he hasn't checked Sick Kid yet. Well, there's your rupee problem solved for the rest of the seed.
Although I don't think he's just a boy has checked Zora, so some of those might be going down the drain eventually.
Yeah, potentially, but we could see if the runners decide to go back there, because without having a mirror, the only good time to check that now is really when you check Catfish with the mirror. Another heart container in the Bombable Hut.
Got our first row filled out there now.
Yeah, only 24 minutes into the seed, and we don't even have a crystal ore pendant yet. But that is going to change soon. There's a piece of heart here, because I'm sure he's just a boy's going to head into Thieves Town here, and we're going to full clear this.
At this point, that is definitely the best and easiest option to do. And they have a hammer, of course, so they can completely fully clear it. No basement big chest troll time this time.
Yep, not today, and maybe hoping to find another sword or even half magic, because after this, with the way He's Just a Boy's been routing, I think Skull Woods is going to be next on his plate. And Fighter's Sword, even 10 hearts green mail, that can be a messy Mothula fight. Okay, the game made a liar out of me. 11 hearts now. Right, so far, though, we've got nothing major in Thieves Town.
Yeah, this might just be ending up a basic clear for the crystal.
So finding out that a map and a fire shield are locked in Misery Mire. So, no cutscene room, I believe that means.
Yeah, no cutscene room. That's a compass chest and a big key chest. We'll have to check those in Misery Mire, because we don't need those items. It's a shame. I like the shaky shaky cutscene room.
And we've got a piece of heart in the attic of Thieves Town, so we're looking for one more item here. Ganon's gone wild in the Dark World, about to pick up his mitts and Hype Cave, and as well his blue boomerang. And Willard doing a check I don't think anybody else has done. He is checking Batman.
No one else has checked Batman yet, because I think everybody else went to Eastern for thinking about this one-off location.
Yeah, everybody else just jumped right in the Dark World, whereas Willard's checking these spots, and just 300 bucks.
I meant by they go to Eastern and then it was like, oh, Hammer, Dark World, not just checking one-offs. But yeah, yeah, just some money, nothing big.
In finding the key, you have to check this, which is just a map, so Blind is going to have the last item. And Willard kind of showing how you have to think about when you're doing these large-scale races where it's not just a one-on-one race. Doing things you normally might not do. You know, checking one-off locations, because not many racers might do that, and it gives you kind of that edge.
One-off checks like reading the pedestal?
Oh!
Ooh. Ether on Ped.
That was a very nice fight of Blind on He's Just a Boy, and we get the flute.
Alright, so two big things happening. Flute on Blind. Very useful movement item that does open up a few locations here. But also knowing that Ether is on pedestal. Will is probably thinking, okay, Now, noticing that, I think this is his first time in Dark World, noticing that both Mire and Turtle Rock are crystals, he's got to be thinking, you know, maybe one of those two is going to require ether.
Yeah, and I mean, can't see what the other, 100 racers are looking at, but that's a valuable bit of knowledge if you find out that ether is required, because who knows how many people are going to actually check that, and they're going to be looking everywhere for ether. And if Willie gets to that point where all he needs is ether, he knows he's in go mode. He's just got to go clear every dungeon.
And speaking of clearing every dungeon, he's going to be the first one in Skull Woods at this point, smacking off those Gibdos with the little bitty fighter sword while trying to move this statue.
Yeah, this room is no fun. Oh, okay, so that makes sense why he's just a boy actually didn't check Desert earlier. He didn't have the book yet. So Eastern was really his only option.
Yes, because he did the southern route up to Kakariko. He didn't hit up the grove there, because that would be technically backtracking for him. But a good choice looping in together, rescuing the blacksmith with going to activate the flute, I'm assuming. And we'll see what our Blackie Bread Smiths have for us today.
And we'll see if he checks Batman as well, because he's right here, so it'd be best time to check it. Which he will. Yes, Mr. Stone, the flute was on blind. The only item of note in here other than the crystal.
Alright, so here we go. Fighter Sword Mothula.
And down goes blind on Fantalis' side.
Willard using his potion to stay alive. Luckily it's a blue potion, so he does get that not extra, but the magic refill as well as the health refill that he was aiming for, and can probably just burn Mothula down at this point.
Yeah, that's probably what he'll do now. Play it safe, stay away, just avoid spikes, and wait for Mothula to stop being a pest and get away from the spikes. And down he goes.
Well, I mean he's a moth, so of course he's a pest. Yes, I too would like to see sometime Mothula having the lamp after all of the recent moth lamp memes that have been around. But
that would be a good one.
Today he just has the big key, and we'll see if Willard heads back over that way to pop that chest open after getting this little bitty chest in the back here.
Getting the sound of the duck there. Nice use of the boomerang there to just kind of stun those Gibdos to where they're not just the annoying little pests that they are as well, because they take so much to kill.
Yeah, and at this point you still want to conserve your magic meter a little bit instead of just burning them to the ground. Just a piece of heart in the big chest, so
Yep.
there was an item there, but
So yeah, only the crystal of value then here. Willard heading out of Skull Woods, heading into Village of Outcasts. Oh, nope, never mind. He's gonna go check Bumper Cave first.
might as well, you're up here. It's nothing. Just a piece of heart. Again.
And Fantel's having a very nice Mothula fight there with the hammer.
Willard's gonna do his clear out of the village outcast now, and 99% sure he'll head into Thieves Town and clear that out.
He's just always stopping to powder the bunny beam, get his hearts full. Alright, he's just avoid dropping into Mothula. Willard's heading into Thieves Town.
Good fight.
Yeah, Mothula was just, I don't want to be near the spikes, I want to fight you. Everybody's happy to see that. Night Shifter, yes. The ped is actually very alive. We know Ether is on the ped, and we have both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock as crystals, so there's a very good chance we might have to do that pedestal. And with that being said, you know, anybody that's new, yes, Ether's on the pedestal. Of the 4 runners that we're showcasing on this channel, the only one that knows that is Willard J. Bradley. The other 3 racers have not checked the pedestal.
Mothula on Games Gone Wild side is also being very friendly, wants a hug today.
And down he goes. So that's Mothula down for all 4 of our runners.
Fantal's gonna also combine rescuing the toad with activating the flute, I believe.
Yeah, and we'll see where he's just a boy goes, because he's done all the checks now, so looks like he's going to check Misery Mire, so... Oh, nope, Desert first. He hasn't been here yet.
Yeah, he hasn't got the book late, so didn't check Desert. He's gonna probably be disappointed to find that it is boots locked.
And more just the fact, not only is the boots locked, but all the items are also locked behind the boots as well.
It's like super boots locked. And we'll see where Fantalis will go after he returns his blacksmith friend here, and actually checking Sick Kid too. Didn't do that yet. We'll see if he uses the flute to go up to Death Mountain or somewhere like that at this point. That's probably the next most likely location, I'd say. Sorry for cutting you off there.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, as far as locations, yeah, we don't really have too much. Technically, Ice Palace is open to a certain degree, depending on keys and everything of that nature. Palace of Darkness is available, and yeah, other than that, it's just kind of a little bit on Death Mountain. See what Mire is, so we got the Mire Shed. I know, I'm just anxious for somebody to go check the Mire Shed, because I want to see what Mire is.
Oh yeah, definitely so. And down goes Blind for Willard. Gonna get that flute there. And we're all evened up here on Crystal Count once again.
And actually, thinking about how Willard routed earlier, he's already done the Smith, so he could actually go grab the purple chest before doing a save and quit, and then kind of route that in as well now.
Alright, Fantalis, here we go. What is Mire?
Look like bombos to me.
That looked like the Bombos.
Yep, that was indeed a bombos.
Alright, my disappointment has gone up 2 notches now. Let's put all our hopes into Turtle Rock at this point.
Looks like Fantalis is grabbing the old man, although we can't see it.
More hearts.
Alright, Willie J. Bradley saves and quits. Where's he's just boy gonna go now? Because probably Death Mountain, I would guess, right? Yeah.
So before, a lot of runners would check what's inside Spectacle Rock and then decide whether or not to jump in there, if it's a meh item or not. But with V30 hint tiles, there's a hint tile in there, so it seems that most people will actually go in there and pick up the item just to check the hint tile, because it's kind of right in front there.
Yep, and we know some well, we knew Cash was there, but we do know where the ice rod is now.
That's good. Very good. That we know where it is. It's not going to be that one last item that we're trying to find. So.
And, you know, it's in kind of a nice place for it, too, because, you know, right on top of Death Mountain, just grab it on the way over to Turtle Rock.
Very handy.
Alright, so Fantalis looks like he's going to be going into the escape portion. He's the only one of our 4 runners that hasn't checked this, I believe. But he's going to get nothing but disappointment down here. Yeah, banana frequency, the qualifiers that we're in right now are all open mode. That won't happen until group stages, and I'm sure either there will be something on the stream or your commentators will let you know what the actual match is going to be customized to.
Alright, he's just a boy. Looks like he's going to be the first one checking out Pod.
Yeah, I think it's really just this or Ice Palace are kind of your options right now. So this potentially has more items, but it also could be a very quick check. Unless you want to do a potion glitch.
Yeah, and who likes Ice Palace?
And I don't think anybody likes Ice Palace other than the fact we know it's a green pendant and we know Sahasrahla has some kind of unique item, so who knows what that actually is, though.
Yeah, an Ice Palace without hookshot. That's like double don't like. Oh well, but here we are in Pod. We'll see what the first few little bits here gets us.
It is bow-locked. And now that I think about it, I think He's Just a Boy is the one that had to use his blue potion? Or was that Willard?
I know Willard used it, and I think someone else did. Two people have used both potions so far.
Well, it must not be He's Just a Boy because he's going down here, or is he just checking the hint tile? Okay, well, we know something unique's inside of Ice Palace.
And Fantalis is probably going to possibly find that out. Also found out from the hint tile in there that just a heart container in the locked chest. I just realized we're still on Fighter Sword.
We are still on Fighter Sword.
And Green Mail.
There's Bombos.
This isn't the best kit to be doing Ice Palace on, but it is the best location at this point with Pod being bow locked, and if you don't have Potion Induce glitch there, then yeah, there's at least one unique item that Ice Palace has. It might have another unique item.
But even with that, it doesn't open Misery Mire up because we don't have boots or hookshot either.
This is just a really kind of gross Ice Palace setup to have to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, because even like the bomb jump, depending on how you do set your bomb jump up, it's different because you have a fighter's sword and not a master sword, but Fantalis gets it no problem.
Yeah, it's between your sword length and all the new sprites that you play with, it's really useful to learn your bomb jumps by the shadow versus sword pixels or link pixels. And he's just a boy showing off the one of the non-useful hints being in green text there.
So I believe I saw the hint. It was bombs and the big key are in
Yes.
left side swamp.
Bombs and big key. So, you know, that's could be trash depending on, you know, if you want to risk getting that big key and seeing what's inside the big chest of swamp. If we even go into swamp, because again, swamp is a pendant dungeon. And Tal's having a little issue with this bomb jump here. These enemies are not helping either. Oof.
Nope. Yeah, they are not. He's gonna have to use his blue potion here.
Nope, got a heart drop, so maybe not yet.
And there's a small key on He's Just a Boy's side. This might have been what he's gonna do is come back upstairs and just bypass this room entirely now.
Yeah, knowing your variations on Ice Palace routing is super helpful.
Yeah, knowing that the key was there, I believe that does mean you don't need the hookshot logically to actually complete this dungeon.
Haven't found any useful items since Bombos yet, though.
Yep, still 2 items, and we've got big chest, iced tea room, and gold stair, I think, is all of our locations.
Oh, there's a cape. We can do Aghanim now.
I mean, you can't skip the 5 rupees, right? You need those. Wood made some nice work of that second bomb jump there.
Just a map in our iced tea room.
Yep, so that means the big chest and cold stair are going to have our last 2 items. Oh wait, no, we found the cape, so there's 1 item left.
Nice bomb jump there, but he's just a boy getting back towards the big chest side of the room. We'll see what's in here. Mire.
And he's just a boy gonna risk that he doesn't need that green pendant.
I don't disagree. Just with how annoying the cold stair fight's gonna be, and a lot of things get opened up by the Mire at this point. And I guess even having to dip back in and, you know, quote unquote go mode Ice Palace possibly later.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it, but it's definitely one of the riskier plays we've seen so far. Because that hint outright said Sahasrahla has something unique. We don't know if it's useful or not, but
Yeah,
the fact
but
that we know it's unique.
did he read that hint? I don't remember.
I'm fairly certain he did, because it was the Eastern Palace one.
Yes, that was
So
the Eastern
everybody
Palace one, yes.
So I'm fairly certain everybody did that one.
Yeah, only Willard on this restream knows about Pedestal. Ooh, and there's a sword locked behind tablet, which needs a sword to open.
Which is probably, I mean, it's a good thing, because if you think about it, when you know about that sword, when you come up here for Ganon's Tower, it's definitely worth the time to just mirror over and grab that sword before going up Ganon's Tower. So potentially no basement trip.
And both Fantalis and Ganon's Gone Wild are doing the dance with Cold Stare here. Fantalis down to 3 hearts, has to be careful, but at least there's only 1 puff left. Ah, there it is.
Down he goes. So there's the green pendant. Well, compass first, then green pendant. Ooh, Ganon's Gone Wild down to a half a heart. Down to 1 puff himself now. And he gets him down.
Oof. That was a good one.
We'll see if Willard makes it as close as everybody else has so far. We got the lamp in Hera.
Alright, that last puff hug made Willard at, 3.5 hearts there. So yeah, very tight Cold Stare fights by 3 of the runners on the screen here. Meanwhile, He's Just a Boy is smashing Moldorm's tail, and very easy there. Didn't have the typical troll dorm. What's he got? A small key.
Oh. I don't think we found both items. I know we found the lamp.
Well, he's going back in, so that means probably the last item is in the basement. There's our mail upgrade on the pyramid. Fantalis picked that up earlier before heading up here to Catfish. Again, he's Gone Wild. Just got it. Probably gonna also go over to Catfish.
Yep, and question from Phoenix Archer: what sprites are Fant and Boy using? Fantalis is using Phoenix Wright, and He's Just a Boy is using Magus from Chrono Trigger.
Aw, Catfish loves us.
Ooh, just some bombs in the basement of Hera. Floating island look like 10 arrows.
Alright, here comes the Turtle Rock check. Our last hope.
Alright, everybody, get your prayers in. Nope.
It's Quake! Ah, Head is dead. No, Ganon's Gone Wild did not get the Mire out of Ice Palace.
Oh, that's huge. But I guess he gambled that Cold Stare was going to have the last item.
So, because he doesn't have the Mire, not able to get the item here. Unlike Fantalis, who's able to Mire back on the pod path there, and it's just the bug net. There's your unique item, guys.
The hint's just giving it to you like that.
Yeah, so that cold stare skip by He's Just a Boy, probably paying off at this point. And he's also going to pick up silver arrows from the floaty island here.
Oh, those are silvers, not 10. Okay. And I'm okay with calling it Cold Scare. Those were some scary fights, so I think it works.
I mean, it's a Halloween month anyway, so it fits.
Alright, Ganon's Gone Wild coming back to check Zora.
Nothing in Spiral Cave, unfortunately. We are looking for, at this point we're looking for, you know, bow, hookshot, and boots and Cane Samaria as well.
Yeah, I think just those 4 items, and that's all we need to go mode. And a sword. We need another sword still.
Oh yes, another sword would be very, very, very good.
Well, there was a cane, but not the right color.
That's a cane. And Willard's going to be very relieved at this point, opening up Turtle Rock and seeing, oh, it's Quake, okay. And again, he was the only one who had checked the pedestal. So now he's, like, probably very relieved that he doesn't have to do, you know, clear out completely Pendant, Pod, and Swamp. Still might have to dip in there, but...
Well, there's her sword and boots.
And half magic, that's comfy.
And I wonder if it's actually, we'll have to ask him if he comes in for an interview, if it was relief or if he was actually hoping that would be ether. Because of the fact that he checked it so early, kind of have to be thinking you're one of the few people that checked that. So having that knowledge, you know where ether is.
Yeah, definitely
kind of helps.
so. Yeah, just, you know, hoping that you have that advantage over, you know, however many other people. Alright, and Ganon's Gone Wild is making the unfortunate dip back into Ice Palace to, get that big chest.
Yep, knows he missed something here. So, had one chest accessible, but unfortunately nothing in there. Just 5 rupees. He's just taking a death, trying to probably go back over there for the tempered sword.
Well, this is not too bad of a run back up that way, especially if you do a spin speed.
So as far as options for dungeons, I know we've got some overworld locations as well, but Desert Palace is open now. We can go into Misery Mire, but we can't complete it unless we find Canis Samaria. And Swamp is open as well, up to the big chest. We can't check the back yet.
Personally, I would go for the completion at this point and just go off and finish Desert Palace, personally. I said that twice, but yeah. What do you think? What would you do?
I think I would do Desert Palace first, just because we know both items are actually still there. And you've already, I mean, some of the runners have already checked. Actually, no, I think all of them have at this point. We get our second bottle. I think after that, with it not being a one-on-one race, I would actually head into a hook shotless swamp. Because I think that one of the worst things that could happen, best things for chat, is we have a vanilla hook shot right now.
Yeah, knowing that the big key is on the left side, so we know that we can, you know, open up that big chest in the middle there. Oh yeah, we can do checkerboard cave too.
Yep, that is the thing we can do.
Meh, just bombs. I love those very vague hints, because you know, a unique item requires a bomb. I mean, there's only a certain amount of things that, you know, fall under the require a bomb thing, but just reading it in that like mini context is just very silly. So there's one item, just 20 rupees.
So we'll see what Land Molas has. It's not a crystal. Oh yeah, that's one location I spaced out. Fat Fairy is open as well.
Oh yeah, Pyramid Fairy with it was Hera and Thieves Town, yeah. And of course now Bonk Rocks too. Not the red item we're looking for.
No. Master Sword was in Paradox Cave. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Willard skipped going for the Tempered Sword, because he's going to have to come back up the mountain at least one more time for Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower if you can get them both at the same time. So you can just go and grab the Tempered on your way up to either one of those.
Yeah, and you might also just be, you know, you could always just find another sword along the way and not have to check that place anyway.
Yep. That's true as well, but our second male upgrade is on Landmolus. Lumberjack was a 5 rupee. So the question in chat, why is hookshot needed for go mode? Technically, if you can hover, you wouldn't need it, but as far as logic is concerned, you need it to cross the final gap after beating Moldorm 2.
And he's just a boy exploding into Mire at this point, possibly thinking Vanilla Samaria.
Yeah, because other than some overworlds, Swamp Palace, both the dungeons you can go into, you don't have the items to complete. And then Swamp Palace being a pendant, even then, you really don't want to check it.
So what are you thinking? What's more painful? Vanilla, both having Vanilla Samaria and Vanilla Hookshot between Swamp and Mire? Or something like Samaria is in somewhere in the back half of Swamp and Hookshot's in Mire here and you gotta double dip Mire?
I think they're both just as bad. Because finding Samaria here is going to take you probably to Turtle Rock at that point.
And then there's still the case of the big old bow as well.
Willard is using the Homer Simpson sprite.
Kingston didn't have anything, so Fantalis is running off to looks like, oh, didn't get the bonk rocks yet. And he's just a boy. Yeah, just getting keys and stuff like that, and Mire so far, nothing.
Yeah, nothing major. I believe Vidi is going to have our second item there, but...
Yeah, and knowing that there isn't anything useful behind the fire-locked areas, it's just time to nope out and do something else.
Yeah, if anybody's new to the race and they didn't see the hint, the whole reason why he's just a boy just completely bypassed left side of Mire was we got a hint that there was, I forget what items were back there, but it was 2 completely unuseful items. So we knew we didn't have to go back there.
I think it was like bombs and a shield.
Yeah, or compass and shield, or yeah, just... I know it was one of the items, so...
Oh yeah, maybe it was a dungeon item, compass and shield.
So Willard's going to follow into Mire, going to be disappointed with what he finds. And looks like Fantalis will probably follow suit.
I'm catching up on all these boot-type locations before, I think Swamp is the last place we have open. And there's a few other one-off locations, like I guess we're getting a Graveyard Ledge check here, and stuff like that, but I think Swamp is definitely the play to go.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody's gonna go check Pyramid Fairy before diving into Swamp.
Ah, yeah, there's two more things there at least. Nope, just bombs up there. Bombos Tablet's another location that hasn't been checked yet. I don't think.
Yep. No, I don't believe anybody's checked Bombo's tablet.
Ah, he's just a boy who hasn't done catfish yet.
So Willard going back into the Dark World of the Village of Outcasts.
Oh, did he just a boy not do Zora? Wow. I guess he was waiting to tie that in with catfish in the mirror.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things when you come up to the Zora area and you're missing the 500 rupees because you leave it behind and it's really just off on its own except for catfish, but then you have to have that mirror.
Fantalis taking down Lanmos. It's gonna also pop into Misery Mire.
Yep. He's just a boy. Looks like he's gonna check Bombos first.
And it's nothing!
So yeah, I think we're down to Swamp and Fat Fairy is all we have left. I guess the interesting thing to think about is if you go into Swamp and you find, like in that very first chest behind the bumble wall, you find something like Samaria or the bow, do you leave and risk that there's not another item in there?
Yeah. Because, with the stuff that's left, they all could just be hiding out in Swamp. And also K45 here. What do we got? Just more bombs. Okay. Are we going Swamp or Pyramid Fairy?
Looks
Head
like
north.
Pyramid Fairy.
Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, a little more comfortable than committing to Pendant Swamp, I think, just to get these two items out of the way here.
Yeah, especially a hook shotless Pendant Swamp.
Yes. Now, this is our first Pyramid Fairy check at this point. Oh no, he's just a boy's side. And can't even do the fancy tricks to make taking this bomb be a little faster because no hookshot. Not gonna get red mail. Alright, what's in these chests? Rupees! Arrows!
Swamp Palace is the play.
I was like, he's gonna get the red mail. I just was checking that before the bomb exploded. Alright, comfy new clothes, and we're gonna go dive into a new dungeon.
Ganon's gone wild, takes down the Landmolus. He's going to get his red mail and his 4th crystal.
Okay, we're not gonna go swamp. I guess now that he's has a better kit with him, he's gonna finish off Ice Palace instead.
I mean, he's got that hint that there was something on the green pendant, and he's the only one of our runners that left it behind. So he's thinking, oh no, I shouldn't have done this.
But we unfortunately know that, oh no, you should not be doing this. You're just gonna get a nice Aghanim 2 weapon to, you know, swing around and catch some stuff with.
I mean, it's a fun item if you like swag strats, but...
It's an unfortunate time loss that he was slightly ahead by not finishing off a Cold Stare. And Willard checking a Swamp Palace hint tile before doing the anything else here. Okay, I guess just checking that hint tile right now. Something sharp is in plain sight. Not too helpful, I think, because I think that probably refers to the sword that we got from Zora. So, gonna do Pyramid Fairy here first.
Okay, he's just a boy skipped the bomb jump, but he doesn't have Samaria.
I hate Ice Palace routing.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to think, how is the route going for this? Because you can't... He's gonna have to... Yeah, because I mean, even if he goes down here, he can't push the switch.
Right, he's gonna have to loop around again.
Yeah, I think he thought he had Samaria, and then the menu's like, oh, no Samaria.
Yeah, don't save and quit. Just start over. Double unfortunate having to first of all heading back in here, but then also forgetting that your Samaria list and have to do bomb jump or loop all the way around. In any case, Fantalis, first one inside Swamp Palace at this point, has just found a small key so far, and the map.
Yeah, and interesting, Willard's going to Palace Darkness. He hasn't been in here, so he doesn't know it's bow locked, but I believe he bought some potions, so he could potentially potion glitch as well. But at this point, we know there's either has to be something in the chest we got south of the big chest in Swamp Palace or in the big chest itself. And yes, he is going to potion glitch.
A unique item is an Ice Palace. Yes, we know. I think Ice Palace had a good handful of hints like pointing at it.
Yeah, it did, and there's Canis Samaria. And Fantalis is going to continue checking that big chest.
And without hookshot yet, you're probably got an inkling. Is it vanilla? Don't want to leave here and have to come back and check all that, so... Especially with the amount of items that Swamp Palace has.
Yeah, which means the play that Willard is making is more than likely not going to net him anything unless he finds a hookshot back here.
I still don't know where the heckin' bow is either. I mean, bow is not going to be where Willard is. But yeah, the only thing you can find back here now is hookshot. Yes, pedestal was checked by Willard. It is ether, and it is dead, as both the medallion required dungeons needed Quake and Bombos. We were hoping.
I mean, we had a good long while where we thought we might need it, but then those medallions, they told us otherwise.
Fantalis having to do the long way around to get that last chest on the left side here, due to no hookshot.
Third bottle and another key. I believe we got access to one more chest now.
Just a compass.
Alright, so big chest has nothing.
Alright, so we are heading back over to Mire and going to clear that out and hopefully find us a hookshot or a bow, or both.
And actually, chat makes a good point. Both still could technically be in the rear half of Swamp as well. We could have to double dip that.
Yeah, I think that's the worst case scenario at this point, is you getting a hookshot in the, end of Mire here and having to go back over to Swamp and do the back half for bow. Or Bo could be in Turtle Rock for all we know.
I mean, Bo and Turtle Rock never happens, though.
I know, it never happens. Bo on Trinex? Ha!
Alright, so Ganon's gone wild about to get his Cane of Samaria. And we'll see what he decides. Looks like he's going to continue and check that big chest as well.
Oh yeah, we haven't found Mushroom yet either. You know, what if the witch has something?
And we do know Vitreous is going to have an item, because we know the Fire Shield is on the left side, and we've checked every other chest so far, and it was just a bunch of keys.
Doing the take damage to save time strats here by taking the damage from the goop on the floor, which does less than the eyes do when they run into you. And just going up there and going ham on them. Alright, Vitreous, what you got? Mushroom! So, you want to do a fetch quest?
Well, they had all the other fetch quests, so why not?
Do all the fetch quests. At least it's a quick check. You can just, fly right over there, drop it off. Have to head out first of the have to head off the screen first before going inside, but alright. Oh, just 300 rupees.
The witches are drug dealers.
Well, I mean, if you want to make it more friendly, she could just be looking for that one last ingredient for her delicious stew.
This is true.
In any case, it looks like we are gonna go head to Turtle Rock.
And we know something's got to be here at this point. Whether it's hookshot or bow. Ms. Metroid with the real hints that it wasn't just a regular mushroom, it was a truffle. The witches only go for the best. Alright, so Fantalis in Turtle Rock. We'll see what we find here. I'm sure he's probably hoping for both a bow and a hook shot. Well, there's one of them.
Alright, that feels good. Good old bow and turtle rock, a classic. So, is hookshot gonna be here? Are we gonna get, like, hookshot in Ganon's tower, possibly? Since that is, you know, the only place that requires it in logic-wise.
So I wasn't counting items on Willard's side when he was in Pod. But did we find 5 items in Pod?
I also wasn't counting. Helmasaur, at least the chat says Helmasaur has an item. Possibly. I don't know. I was not keeping count. We'll have to see where people go after getting Turtle Rock finished off. If they decide to finish off Pod, or, you know, because they gotta go to Eastern anyway. We got everything out of Eastern, right?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Hookshot is, by logic, always required due to after Moldorm 2, you have to get across the gap. You have to hookshot to that chest. So yes, it could be in Ganon's tower before that point.
Yeah, and I think at this point, if you don't find the hookshot here, you're still going to check every chest for it. If you don't find it, you go to Eastern, clear Eastern, and then just go to GT, because likelihood that it's in GT is the highest.
Yeah, with the amount of chests you got there. Oh, I like the bunny sprite for Phoenix Wright. That's a good one.
I forget what the name of the character is. I'm sure somebody in chat knows.
Blue Badger, yes. Thank you. No, nothing in Mimic Cave. Oh, we get a butter sword? Oh, we do have a butter sword. Fantalis, picking up the 4th sword. Delicious.
Yes, indeed.
taking a stop on the side there to pick up some health. This has been a really healthy seed.
Yeah, which they were probably happy to see considering how they had to go in Ice Palace with the kit that they did.
Alright, laser bridge. Do have to get a key from this bridge. So we'll see what chest that is in, and we'll see if any other chests have anything. Alright, there's the key. And it's nothing.
All the dungeon items almost. No, hookshot cannot be in swamp. We've already checked as much as we can in swamp that it's not hookshot locked.
So hookshot could be here on Trinex. Hookshot can also be like what is it? Palace of Darkness.
Yeah,
It's the only last I think I got everything in Eastern, so I think Pod is possibly the last location for that.
Yep. And Fantalis makes quick work of Turtle Rock and Trinex. Gets crystal number 6 after whatever item he has, which is just a piece of art.
And yeah, hookshot can also still be in Ganon's Tower at this point too. Fantalis hadn't checked the first chest here, probably hoping hookshot and hookshot cave. It's not. Alright, he's just a boy is on his Trinex fight. Also has butters. Is that butter sword? Yeah, it's yellow. I can tell colors.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the racers are going to have butter because Willard's got it and the Ganon's Gone Wild just picked it up there.
So Willard did go back and hit that tablet earlier. I thought he was going to save it for later, but
yeah,
he's got butter.
He did it on his way up to Turtle Rock because probably thinking try next fight with Master Sword when I can just grab Tempered on the way up.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I can't believe it's butter sword. Fantalis heading off to get his last crystal in Eastern here. Going to be an easy clear, and then it's just, after that, a search for the hookshot. So, I mean, crystal-wise, on this stream here, Fantalis is in the lead by being one of the first one to defeat Trinex and have 6 crystals there. You know, he's just a boy would be next. Willard just finished, and then Ganon's Gone Wild is shortly behind them. And they're all going to be heading over to Eastern to get their final crystal. And then from there, it's going to be a toss-up to see if they just all head into Ganon's Tower and taking the chance that hookshot is in there somewhere, or if they, you know, delve into Pod and see if they're back there. If Pod still has an item, which we're kind of unsure about because we lost count of items. But
Yeah, I mean, we had quite a few people in chat say that Helmut Sword King has an item, so I'm pretty sure we've got the one item there. Where do I want hook shot? Tile room.
Tile room. Tile room.
I don't want to be completely maining sell Helmut Sword King if he has an item, because then it's just like, I'm going to go to Ganon's tower and check as much as I can. Oh, it's not here. Okay, let me go all the way through Pod now.
And Vantalis is going to dive into Pod.
Yeah, I'm not sure, it's like, I don't know if he just wants to risk that. I mean, with hookshot, there is a good amount of items that are actually locked in Ganon's tower anyways, but... But yeah, technically it is time. We do have crystal number 7, even though we're still looking. We're gonna go ahead and start up the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game. So it looks like He's Just a Boy is actually going to risk that the hookshot is there, so...
Nothing official, not going to run the Mr. Bot in chat, but throw some numbers in chat, and we're going to guess where Big Key is going to be this time around. What is it, 22 locations?
Yep, 22 locations. Yeah, Sarah Zelda, if your question was, can hookshot be out of Ganon's Tower? Yes, it could be in Palace of Darkness right now. On Helmut Sword King, that would be the only location, though. So I don't think there's any other locations we've really missed on Overworld.
Right. It's looking like He's Just a Boy is going to be the first one into Ganon's Tower, so we're going it with them. Right, and He's Just a Boy did a quick look on left side first, didn't see key there. No, it's nothing on the torch, so we're going to count that torch as one, I guess, there.
Yep, that would be one.
And going right side. Map is in 2, small key in 3. Ooh, tile room gamble. Gamble.
Yep, checking it right here.
And Willard is heading down the left side here, so I haven't seen. Oh, there's Big Key. So I don't know what number that was for Willard, but that's not going to be for our count here. But we'll say that Big Key is on left side.
Yep, we know that much.
Yes, the fire rod isn't going to send a block over there, unfortunately. Just enough magic to get the Canis and Maria block over to that switch. And I've unfortunately lost count of these chests, so I hope you've been counting.
That would be number 8 there.
Alright, we're at number 8. We're getting bullied by those zappy jellyfish guys. Fantalis fighting the Helmasaur King. We'll see what the dinosaur drops while he's just a boy and Willard make their way through Ganon's Tower. One still looking for the big key, the other has it, but looking for the hook shot.
That is chest number 9 for He's Just a Boy. There it is, hook shot.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Willard even checking the GT big chest, just finding a boomerang in there.
That one chest that never gets any love because you never check it in Randomizer. This time it was checked though.
And He's Just a Boy has left Ganon's Tower. Did he get the big key? I know he saw. I went down to bleh. He went down to Ice Armos and got those 3 chests and just noped out.
Yeah, I don't even think he got those because he might think those are all hookshot locked. So he doesn't want to break logic potentially because he didn't bonk across or check any of those. So we'll have to remember. I believe he is on chest number 12 right now. So we'll have to remember that for when he comes in.
Willard, on the other hand, since he did find Big Key, is gonna go heading up the tower at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Willard can hover or not.
And it's a perfect time to learn.
So we are getting it in chat that Willard cannot hover. So
it's a perfect time to learn.
Yeah, it's a perfect time to learn. We'll see what he tries to do.
Not gonna, like, can't take the break room in there because you can't get back across. So just gonna keep heading up the gauntlet. Nice fairy drop though.
Yeah, good fairy drop.
Oh yeah, Willard doesn't have an extra key either, so I think he's just hoping that the hookshot's there, and I don't know. I don't know at this point. This seed has just been a giant mess at the end.
Well, I guess I got my wish because I said I didn't want a jet seed, and this definitely was not a jet seed.
So it's your fault.
Yep, they can blame me. I'll take it.
Alright. Taking one for the team here, Sir Link-a-Lot. Or you can bonk both sides of the gap. Okay. I always thought it was just you can only bonk the one way, and the other way was a little bit too far for bonking, but oh well. In any case, Fantalis, gonna find the big key soon as they went on the left side. Oh, there's our last, there's a bottle there. Okay.
Bottle number 4. So it's going to be a little interesting to see who between Willard and He's Just a Boy is kind of ahead between those two, because Willard's already cleared Pod out, so he just is going to have to run in and go right for King Helmasaur. And Fantalis is making his way up Ganon's tower now, with hookshot in hand.
Oh, He's Just a Boy didn't even, you know... Oh yeah, he didn't, you know, glitch through Pod or anything, so checking everything along the way here. I think Willard was the only one to do potion glitch.
Yes, he was the only one that potion glitched. Yeah, Wolflink, technically, we can assume that if he goes and checks the left side the way it's meant to be checked, or that everybody pretty much checks it, that he'll find it at number 17.
So yeah, if you guess for this very strange what do you call it? Very strange Candace Tower Big Key game. If you guess 17, then you won. All right, Willard, time to learn how to hover. You can do it. Got a couple steps.
And that's going to be the extent of Willard's journey into hovering. For now, at least.
So why the long seed? The last few items required were very spread out. So bow was in Turtle Rock, you know, as it likes to be. Hookshot was on Pendant Helmasaur, and since bow was so late, no one really went back there. And you know, since hookshot wasn't required for Swamp, it's a very, like, you know, your go mode item, and only because of that chest to, you know, finish getting across Moldorm's pit there. Yeah, just a very spread out seed. A lot of, you know, hearts and stuff early on. Had to do Ice Palace with a very, you know, low kit of items. Fighter Sword, no half magic, green mail. Just stuff like that. Stuff was very spread out, I'd say.
Yeah, and all pendant dungeons were completely required. We had the troll of a hint that said, hey, Sahasrahla has a unique item, and it ends up being the bug net.
Oh yeah, Samaria in the, that bottom room in Swamp.
So Fantalis about to get to the Moldorm 2 fight here. We've got a nice kind of one-on-one race going, though, between Willard J. Bradley and He's Just a Boy. Just a few rooms away from each other. And bomb strats on King Helmasaur there.
Sure, why not? Just show off at this point. He's Just a Boy getting that hook shot. And Fantalis approaching the Geometry Wizard Aghanim himself.
Very nice, I get 2.
Yeah, three doubles.
And he's just a boy. He's on his way up Ganon's tower. Well, he will be. He's on his way up Death Mountain first. And Willie Dre Bradley is gonna get his hook shot. And should be a fairly trivial fight. We've got Butter's sword, we've got silver arrows, red mail, and 15 hearts.
Yeah, for, when you get these longer seeds, I just noticed we passed the 2-hour mark here. These longer seeds, you're usually going to be pretty equipped out to deal with Ganon very easily.
One more strike. There we go into the final phase of Ganon.
And getting torch glitch just to be comfy.
And one more arrow is going to do it.
Nice, just getting that swipe there.
And down goes Ganon on Fantalis's side. Get your GGs in chat for Fantalis, where he is going to finish in 15th place this race with the time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 8 seconds.
So, yeah, 15th place in this seed, going over the 14 finishers ahead of him. Of course, Andy, ALG Andy, finished first place with a time of 1:38.16. There's so many things in this chat here. Burn the Witch, second place, 1:50.05. Act the Balker, third place, 1:51.50. Dante, 1:54.25. Rywek, 1:54.37. Mekon, 1:55.20. Error, 1:55.35. And now we're 8th place, Jet 082, 1:56.27. 9th place, Hitsunyan, 1:57, 1:56.57. Dracarys, 10th place, 1:57.31. Maximum Barnage, 1:58.13. Aaron Dobby, 1:59.12. Scion T, 1:59.29. And Brewers Fan JP, 2:01.45. GG to everyone that has finished so far. We have Willard, and he's just a boy hanging up the tower, and I think I heard a ding in Discord.
Yep, we are joined in chat by the first finisher of our 4 featured racers, Fantalis. GG.
Yeah, thank you. That, I don't feel like I should be in 15th. What on earth was that? Like, I keep IRC minimized for the entirety of the race because I just don't know anything. I was expecting to pull it up and see, oh, am I in 60th place or am I in 70th place? Like, how far down am I here? No, it was absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea what. I don't know.
Well, out of everyone on the restream, you were the only one to go back into pod right away after getting the bow. Willard and He's Just a Boy both went to Ganon's tower first, hoping the hookshot was in there.
Yeah, well, let me let me tell you about Fantalis's theory of compounding dumbs. So, like, you do a dumb, and then you feel like, oh shoot, I did a dumb. Well, now I'm behind. And so you feel like, okay, well, I got to make a tiny bit of a stronger gamble next time. And you do, and it doesn't work out. And you're like, well, there's my second dumb. And so you keep making stronger and stronger gambles. So that's essentially what led me into Palace of Darkness at that point. I was like, and it was the wrong thing absolutely to do for a qualifier match, I think. It was more a correct thing to do for like a 1v1 match where you're like, no, I'm going to lose anyway if this is wrong. But yeah, it worked out.
I was laughing off mic the entire time you were explaining that. So basically, you make enough dumbs to overflow your dumb meter to make a good thing, essentially.
Yeah, it's not a good plan by any stretch of the just don't do it. It's bad.
Don't do dumbs. All right.
No, but I mean, the other thing that I was thinking, oh, by the way, the Bolt coin sleeps again, so this could have been even worse.
Oh yes, Willard was the only one to read Pedestal.
Oh,
So did it very early on, and we were all hoping, we as in Chad and Sir Link-a-Lot were hoping that, Ether's going to be required for entry into Mire or Turtle Rock, and then, one was Quake and one was Bombos.
Yeah, I managed to completely avoid that. Yeah, my assumption was because the other 3 races that I've done so far had roughly, somewhere in the 80s for a score. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll just go full meme for this one, and it'll be my bottom score, and it'll get dropped, and it's fine. And I'm coming out of here, I think, with an 87 somehow.
So yeah, the items were very much spread out in this seed. So Willard is heading into 4th phase of Ganon at this point. He's just a boy, just finished off Aghanim 2. Willard didn't get torch clip. That's okay. Getting a nice double into Ganon's rear end there. And 4th arrow in. And let's see if I can find the right placement here.
Yep, I've got him. So,
All right,
so
good.
Willard J. Bradley, he is going to be in 32nd place with the official time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 8 seconds.
So yeah, there was another good chunk of like 15 people or so that finished between Fantalis and Willard. I'm just gonna run off the names really quickly, not the times. That's getting a little bit too much. Wall Kicks, Hacksaw, Ravis 10, Magilord, Zelgada-san, Asmati Games Forfeit, okay. Kern, Killer App, Swerb, Liam Atlas, D-Spags, Argyle XD, Gus, Dark Shadow, Zyrak, Nifboy, Illis24. Yeah, this was a huge race, everyone. There was like 100-something people in it. And he's just a boy finishing off Ganon as well. Very, very easy fight with, Butter Sword and silver arrows and everything.
Yep, and he's just a boy who's going to be finishing in 35th place with a official time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 34 seconds.
So, GG's in chat to all of our featured racers here. And yeah, Ganon's Gone Wild did unfortunately have to forfeit. But give them GG's anyway for getting through most of this interesting seed, definitely.
Yeah, this seed pretty much had a little bit of everything other than it being a pedestal or an egg seed, and the pedestal was pretty much there for a good bit of the race.
We'll see if anybody else decides to join us for our interviews. Fantalis, any other last thoughts of this seed? And I think you said you need to do one more race, if I was thinking correctly.
Yeah, I got one more race to do. Any last thoughts? Like, that was some of probably my worst execution ever. It was great. It's, a lot of things went very bad.
And we are joined here by Ganon's Gone Wild. GG for getting through most of that seed.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting seed there. I just started gambling and hoped that the hookshot was in GT and it wasn't, so I just like, whatever. I'm gonna get like a 3 hours on this, so I might as well just forfeit.
Yeah, hookshot ended up being on Helmasaur, and out of the other two people on the stream, Willard and He's Just a Boy both decided to go up Ganon's tower to check that, and did have to climb back down. Willard went all the way up, actually, all the way to Moldrum too. He's Just a Boy left, I think. They didn't know that the part of the left side is not hookshot locked, so they only just checked the right side and then left after clearing out right side and went over to Palace Darkness.
I see. Yeah, basically, once I saw Andy finish, I figured he probably just hovered. And so if I didn't find everything very quickly, since I think their score is basically just based off the top 3 people, like their average finish time. So it's just like you get penalized pretty hard there. So I don't know, figured I'd just forfeit.
And I mean, the math in the end does drops your best and your worst. So if this ends up being your worst, then that's a good thing.
Well, I don't think it can get much worse. Yeah, I think I was doing okay until Ice Palace, and then I just had like a execution meltdown, and then that's what caused me to start gambling, because I probably wasted like 8 minutes just checking random stuff because of that.
Hey guys.
Alright, He's
Hey,
Just
what's
a
up?
Boy. GG on that seed.
That was a seed, alright, hey?
That was something, yeah. So I have a question for you. Did you think that left side parts of a GT was a hookshot locked?
I just assumed it was. I wasn't sure if you could bonk over by logic, so I left it.
We were just curious, since you, out of everyone, Fantalis didn't go to GT, went over to Helmasaur, did that first, and was the first one on the race to finish. You did the right side of GT and then left, and Willard, you are able to bonk over there, so Willard just did go all the way up GT to Moldrum 2.
It was great. I loved it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
So
That doesn't sound true.
If you could hover.
I was all prepared to see you learn how to hover there, Willard.
You know, I just don't think my controller is made for hovering. I tried and it just seemed a little bad.
It's a controller.
And you know, if I hadn't wasted time trying to hover, I would have got top 30. So I'm more disappointed about that.
I probably would have tried to hover as well if I found the big key. And I've only hovered one gap.
Big key was in logic without hookshot, which was nice. So I was kind of anticipating hookshot maybe being up the gauntlet or being right side. Did anyone check tile room? What was tile room? I freaked out when I was killing Helma.
A heart piece, I think.
What?
A heart piece, I think.
Okay. Because I'd forgotten to check that. Yeah, this seed was just kind of really unfortunate for me. It just kind of made all the wrong choices. Like the early game route to Sahasrara, but didn't dip Eastern. that was just bad luck. And then basically doing everything and then picking Pyramid Fairy to pod instead of going into Swamp was my second mistake.
Yeah, you were the only one to decide to do Potion Glitch to get through most of pod there.
Yeah. It was one of those situations where it's like, well, I know Bo's not going to be in here, obviously, but if it's like Bo that leads to Hookshot or Samaria minus Helma, then it would be worth checking out anyway. Of course, that ended up being unfortunate with it being on Helma, and I considered going back into pod before doing Eastern, but I was like, there's 2 items left in the outside GT. What are the chances that one of those 2, one of them being the big chest of Swamp, and the other one being Helma, having the Hookshot? There's so many items in GT. There's a good chance it'll be in there. I was wrong. I was very wrong.
I think my biggest dumb was triple dipping Ice Palace. Because I forgot I didn't have the cane and didn't bomb jump across on my second trip in.
Oh yeah, we saw that pause there when he hit the button room, like, oh.
Yeah, I may have said some not safe for work stuff at that moment.
Yeah, that what do you call it? Muscle memory can get you between like that and say like the Turtle Rock torch room as well. I've seen people trip up there when they think they have the hook shot and they don't, and they try to do the fast way for the torches, or just little things like that when you're missing an item that you typically have during rando races at that point.
Yeah, I was like,
wait, which room?
The one right before Cold Stare, where you
the
have
one
to
on
use the
top
cane
of
of
GT?
Samaria.
Is that the one you're talking about, or which?
No, in Ice Palace, where you can use the cane of Samaria, where you drop that block down. On my second trip in, I didn't do the bomb jump because I was like, I got the big key, I got a small key, I can make it all the way to Gold Stare. Yeah. Oops. Only for a bug net. Because of that hint. I wouldn't have went back if it wasn't for that hint.
Yeah, so Willard, you were the only person to read the pedestal out of all the featured racers. What were you thinking about Ether being there?
Well, I was hoping it was going to be an all dungeon seed, just because I feel like players with better execution can get an advantage from that. So as soon as I eventually got the mitts, I was like, all right, let's go ahead and check Mire. Mire's Bombas. Okay, well, never mind. So I just wanted to make sure, I wanted to go ahead and find out if Ether ended up being required or not. Ended up being a pretty much all dungeon seed anyway, so.
Yeah, just basically all dungeons without having to technically clear 2 of them. Yeah, that Ice Palace green pendant ended up being a trap for Bugnet, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I missed a really, well, I need to learn that setup in the double freezer room to the bomb jump to get to the long hallway, so you can check T room, because I messed that one up, which forced me to kind of route poorly in ice. And then, yeah, of course, that unique item from Saha was the good old-fashioned bug net. Just what I needed. Thanks, game. But, yeah, this was my third qualifier and definitely my worst one. So good thing we drop our worsts, right?
Don't do any more.
Don't do any more. Nope.
Just gotta be better from here on out, and hope the seeds are better or something like that. But
I just
yeah,
need to get better luck. That's it. That's it, really.
I'm still adamant that going into Palace of Darkness before going into GT was dumb. It was a dumb idea. It was bad. It was dumb. I'm dumb. It's not. It worked.
Yeah.
It's also dumb.
See, if I had picked Swamp over Pyramid Fairy Pod, then I would have been more inclined after Eastern to go back in and do Pod. But since I just had one item left in there, I was like, there's more items in GT. It makes more sense to go straight to GT. I still checked Mushroom anyway, but just that one routing choice. It's the same thing as the beginning of the game when I went and visited Sahasrara early, the first thing I did. So I was like, well, I already went over there, so let's just put Eastern off until the last second. And then, of course, that didn't help either. So Just kind of 2 routing choices that ended up hurting me. Could have gone any other way, but yeah, just gotta try again in the next one and hope I can get a better score. GG's, guys. Good stuff.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for dropping in and giving your thoughts on this seed. So, with that, I think we'll wrap this one up. Sir Lancelot, anything last thoughts for you to say?
No, I was just happy to commentate the seed. It was definitely an interesting one to commentate. Not quick, and especially throughout the entire race, just all the divergence between all 4 runners kept us on our toes to make sure we're trying to pay attention to everybody as best we could.
Oh yeah, and you're the one that wanted the nice long seed, so we'll all just shoot our eye daggers over in your direction. Thank you for taking one for the team.
Yep, I volunteered to take it for the team earlier.
So yeah, it was a good time commentating with you, Sir Lancelot, and thanks to our trackers as well. It was Wolflink and Coordinator this time around. And let's see, when is our next qualifier race for this tournament? All right, it's going to be Tuesday, October 16th. Very late time race for all you European time zone fans out there, 11:15 p.m. Eastern. So keep an eye on the Speed Gaming schedule for what channel that'll be assigned to, and we'll see you all there for some more rando action.